Ladies and gentlemen, guys, gals, non-binary pals, welcome back to Poland 2026. We've got the Kek Minoin Samurai versus White Lotus. I'm still here with Condawg. We've had a tiny break, but now we've got a pretty good game to wrap up the day here. Condawg, how are we feeling about this matchup?
Yeah, hopefully it should be pretty competitive. I mean, it's not going to be the closest we've ever seen, but there is potential here. As we saw, I mean, let me toss your mind back to Poland 2025. We saw Mac, the only man to take a map off a Witness. Ooh. So, you know, he's done it before. White Lotus probably aren't as strong as the Witness that we saw back then. So there's potential. There's potential for big things to happen here.
There is. I believe we have a Mac roster to put up on the stream. We're calling the Mac roster. Says KMS at the bottom. It is, of course, the Kek Minoin Samurai. We've got Flick SNH on Scout. Flick is kind of disembodied, and then Sylves is on Roma. Leth or Bloke on Pocket. Mac is on Demo, and then Eon, of course, on Medic. Condawg, when you look at this team, what kind of stands out to you about this team?
Well, Wandem, there's two things that stand out to me, okay? One is the fact that earlier I found out that Flick's Steam name is Flameboy28.
It is, yeah.
Which is fantastic to me, And also, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, but we've got a product game coming up, and I see a man on that roster that knows how to snipe.
If we do, I mean, maybe we can go through just a pick ban animation like right now. But even just in general, right? Like, SNH loves himself a bit of sniper on a map like Process. He will just, but yeah, there was a Granary ban. Yeah. There was a Bagel ban and a Sunshine ban. And a Process ban and a Metalworks ban. And we are playing product. This is crazy. Because the last 2 seasons, all of the big upsets that this sort of roster, the Samurai roster has gotten, have been on product. And it's been off the back of big sniper mains like SNH. Still swapping over to the Scout a little bit. Looking kind of good.
I mean, Wanda, do you think this comes down to the Americans maybe not doing their homework a little bit? Maybe they don't know about the SNH sniper. I mean, Mac's team, they're not, in the thoughts and minds of most people, they're not going to be a top 3 team. So maybe they don't know.
Maybe they don't. Maybe it's time to, fool around and find out. I have to really think about a PG way of saying that.
Well done.
Thank you.
Impressive. Yeah, no, really good.
Should we look at just very quickly the American roster to bring all the Europeans up to speed as well? Just to make sure we're all on the same page. We obviously saw them play earlier. It's still Chris and Slam on Scout. Everyone is just a disembodied, everyone's ripping. Like, Skis is just holding on to Jay's leg.
It's fantastic. Truly fantastic.
High Five and Jay on the Soldiers. Logan on Demo, of course. This is a very strong team. I've been watching them play a bit, and they look pretty good, I think.
And honestly, we know we're going to product, and I think this is the style of team that might be able to contend with this SNH sniper, which I think we're going to see the SNH sniper. I'm calling it now. I'm glancing across at the pregame right now. He's not on the server. Okay, never mind. But I think the Americans, they're this sort of cohesive 6-man unit. They're going to go forward together. They're going to be bombing soldiers. They got soldiers that aren't going to beat around the bush. They know their scouts are going to be following them in. Their demo man, Logan, he's going to be piling across the point. So I think, honestly, the Americans, they might be able to handle the SNH sniper. And maybe that's why they let the map get through.
But then there's also the factor of, I guess they have a bit of practice of playing against the bot mode kind of perma-sniping on this map. But I think, is there not also an argument to say that if you might want to run a counter-sniper, having the option of, either having Jay or Slam on sniper, not the worst sort of sniper to have in the world.
And I guess you also got to think, even High Five, he's on the soldier role. Like, you don't even have to sort of, I guess, Jay could, yes, he is on soldier, of course. He can swap to the old sniper. Slemnish, he can probably snipe. I'm not too familiar with the American scouts. You know? Caps, does Caps snipe as well, or is he just a solid scout?
I feel like especially when you're on a team with Slam, you just let Slam snipe.
You just let him take the reins and lead you to victory, don't you? Really?
Yeah. This is super interesting. I'm super surprised that they're just playing product, because I really do think, especially this season, this is the map where the Samurai looked like they could actually contend with the top of Prem. And then on basically every other map, they look like a decent tier below the other teams when it came to normals 5 CP. But then specifically off of the back of being able to play really well around this sniper, it was permabanned against them all Uberfest. But they had the upset victories initially first against Forfence last season. Talk to dmoule about that one. Very excited about that.
Ooh, wow.
Then they also did it. Then they also did it against the Maggots last season as well. Then they did it against Mandem this season. They're kind of on a roll in this map. Even if they don't actually have that like secret sauce on product, do you not still think that it has to be some kind of a mental buff going into a game like this, that you get that sort of sort of pocket pick?
Yeah, they've got the kind of knowledge on the map. They must just know how to play it. I mean, it's been a staple map in the pool for ages. You know, we're rotating out the other ones. Badlands comes and goes. Snake Quarter tends to come and go. But Koth product, people just know it, and maybe they're just tried and true. You know, you really can't go wrong with it. But I mean, also the Americans, they had that sort of draw earlier to Mandem. Maybe they're not feeling themselves as much as they were. Things could go either way, really.
How important do you think this last sort of game of groups is, just in terms of like the mental of both of these teams coming off ending the day on a win? How important do you think that is?
I mean, the teams are going to be tired. You know, they're going to be dragging a little bit. The eyes are starting to fade. You're not quite sure what you're looking at. But it's still an important game. This is a big. It's two Titans really, or maybe not Titans. Maybe the medium
One Titan
Titans.
and like a guy.
Yeah, a guy.
Big guy.
A dude. There's a big dude.
Yeah.
Big dude, but Titan.
Yeah.
But it matters for seedings. You know, you don't want to end up coming in that third or fourth slot, because then you're going to end up in the witness side of the bracket, and then it just becomes harder and harder, and then you start dropping down low. It just gets tougher from there. So it does matter. It's a big game, Wondom.
Yeah. Who do you think's going to win this, Condawg? Do you think that that the Samurai have what it takes on this product map, or do you think that White Lotus have got it?
It's going to be close. There's going to be rounds on both sides. It's not going to be a whitewash. Probably some sort of 3-1, probably going the way of White Lotus. I think overall they're just too strong on the DM side. Like, I think Max team have a couple of, you know, lower tier players that I wouldn't sort of put in the star-studded lineups. You know, I won't name names, but Sylvs. He's just not. He's a cut below. I'll say it as it is. You know me. Mac also, he's just not the strong. He's good personality, great, love the man. Honestly, if I was to have a beer with a guy, first on my list. But my demo man, I don't know. I just think there's so many other better people, like Fancy Elf, the best demo in Europe. What a guy! What a guy!
You're speaking a little bit earlier about how like both teams are going to be tired. I know I overheard a conversation about Fancy Elf where Fancy was saying that he was super tired. He never played this much TF2 in a day ever.
Which is strange, because he's quite a young kid. He doesn't even have a job, I don't think. So I don't like his days are just playing TF2. Isn't that how it works? I don't know. But I mean, yes, you're right. It's 8 hours in a row of just playing TF2. You know, you have few breaks. You get, you know, a little break for lunch, I suppose. But yeah, it's a long old day. I mean, we're approaching what? Oh, I can never get the point right on the right side. 21:17 down there. You can see it's getting late over here in Woodge. But yeah, I don't know. Tired eyes.
I think I'm starting to feel it too, to be honest. I've kind of sort of hit the crest at this point. I'm like,
would you say like it'd just be so like refreshing if the players and the teams are on the server on time?
It would be amazing.
Right.
I will say, like, this chair is surprisingly comfortable. I could sit here for a while, but it would be nice if like we could play on time.
It would be nice, but you can't always win. Who are we blaming?
Production's telling us to blame someone. Who are we blaming?
Yeah, who are we pointing fingers at?
We're blaming White Lotus. It's their fault. I always said this about the Americans, man. They're never on time.
Honestly, those Yanks, eh? Those Yanks. What can you do?
Yeah, man.
What'd you have for dinner, Wondom?
Ooh, we went for some fried chicken. I had some Korean fried chicken.
Ooh.
Very nice.
Yeah. How many zloty are we talking?
Around 40?
That's pretty
46?
good, honestly. Yeah. No, I've been taking some of the boys to some of the local spots that I know of. Went to Whiskey in a Jar last night. You been there?
No, I haven't.
It's really, really nice. I took Capo Car there last year. We had some
Cabokar.
great conversations.
Miss Cabokar, actually.
Miss that guy. He should be sat here.
Presence should be right there, yeah.
You know, it'd be nice. He's just such a funny guy. But no, I recommend it. You know, maybe tomorrow, burgers, steaks. They do some nice sort of cocktails on the side as well. It's a great place.
Maybe. We'll have to see how long I'm allowed to be away for. Players still aren't ready, by the way. There is like
Yeah, we're scrambling, guys. We're scrambling.
type your favorite number in the Twitch chat.
Yeah. No. No. Ooh la la.
Oh my God! Wait, it's dmoule.
Wow.
Everyone type 91.
Yeah, wait, hold on. dmoule, can you explain sort of like maybe where the 91 comes from, just for everyone who's intrigued?
Yes, of course. It's a funny story. So there's like 95 coded areas. That's not funny. It's not. It's not over yet. So there's 95 coded areas. I lived in the 91st. There you go.
Oh, he's so funny. He's so funny. Love that guy. Okay. No, you're staying? Okay. All right. You got a funny story, Wondom? Where's your name come from?
My name, like my name? I'll give you that story actually.
Well, not how your parents named you. Just
Why not? It's a good story.
okay. I mean, you tell me.
So my parents, when they, like my mum got pregnant, they're like, what are we gonna name our kid?
Okay.
And they immediately decided that if it was a girl, they would call her Laura. Turns out, very quickly find out, I'm not a girl. So they had to pivot a little bit. And so unfortunately for me, there's sort of a male version of Laura that exists in the north called Lauritz.
Lauritz.
So in all of the sort of pregnancy photos, that's what I'm named.
Okay.
And then I was born, and the what do you call like the nurse that helps to give birth?
Yeah, the midwife.
Yeah, the midwife was like, don't call him that. Call him literally anything else,
Oh.
like Alex.
Oh, that's.
And that's my actual name.
Oh, interesting.
So the midwife like saved my life.
It's funny because I mean, dmoule obviously, as everyone knows him as Jesse. Like they just said give him a girl name anyway, and that's just how it happened. You like that? No, I'm joking. Where did Wondom come from, though? Can you tell me that story?
Ooh, yeah. It was because in the Danish accent, pronouncing the English R is really hard.
Okay.
And I was 12, and I thought that the 10-year-olds that were watching PewDiePie videos during playtime
Love PewDiePie. You love
were
PewDiePie?
really
I love
cringe.
PewDiePie.
So to make fun of them, I named myself Wandom because they kept saying, "Oh my God, it's so Wandom." When PewDiePie
That's
did
good.
at Amnesia,
Yeah,
the
that's
good
cool.
old.
That's cool.
Look, it's the point.
Wow, we've circled back around. Wow. The night's
Can you
getting
believe
long.
Witness are on top of them all?
Sorry, what was the question?
Can you believe the Witness are leading their group?
It is actually surprising. I think they're playing pretty well this LAN. Like it's, I think they're going from upset to another upset. It's really good. Props to these guys.
Upset to upset, just carrying the momentum.
Can I ask them all a question?
Yeah.
Did it's a good question. Why are you laughing instantly? What the hell? Did you see the DM versus Witness game?
I did. Surprisingly, the track record doesn't change. So, let me tell you a story. They played against each other at least 11 times. 11 maps. 11 different maps. And in 11 maps, Dirty Maggots managed to score 8 rounds in 11 maps. Isn't that crazy?
I need you to say something
8
else
rounds.
that's super crazy. We have a game that's about to start now, dmoule. It's going to be the Samurai versus the White Lotus, and I'm going to need you. We already have a prediction 3-1 from the side of Condawg for the White Lotus. What are you going to say, dmoule?
What is the map?
Product.
Oh. I think 4 for the Americans.
Hmm?
Oh, it's
4-0.
Oh, it is 4.
Yeah.
Right. We're playing first to 4. It's a best of 7.
Yeah, wait, no,
And,
sorry.
to
It's
take you through that first to 4, I've been told that I have to send over to the casters now. Turbo Tabs and Tomato. Hello.
I've learned a lot of things, Tomato. Okay, apparently it's 4 rounds. Apparently Wandom was a reference to PewDiePie or
Hey guys, it's random.
and we've also learnt about midwives. We've also learnt about 91s. And we're also going to learn a lot more factors here, which is the map pick, the pocket pick for Keck Minion Samurai stronger than White Lotus? I've got some stats here for you in the fact that White Lotus did beat Mandem, and Mandem did beat Kek Minion Samurai. So in theory, if Kek Minion Samurai win with their pocket pick, it shows how the power of this pocket pick.
I mean, if you just solely have your mind locked onto this very map, but it was a tie against Mandem eventually. But we are entering now. As I also ask myself, what is my favorite number? It's, well, best to 4, but it's definitely 12. 12 gamers ready to rock, ready to rumble. The Samurais now in the red. Not what you see on your top, it is in the red, and the White Lotus coming out on the blue.
Alright, to start us off, it's the aggressive, well, not really much aggression coming out apart from this one soldier from High Five. He's just really going to absorb the initial sort of hatred coming out.
SNH immediately on Sniper, by the way, and that puts Sylphs on a scout roll, but Jay comes close here. Jay walking over them with his rockets. A huge rocket ricochet unleashed from Bloke onto Slamnish.
You know what? Production, can I have a colour change here? Because I'm pretty sure Kek Minion Samurai are red team and White Lotus are the blue team. It's throwing me for a loop.
And the Samurais are capping it. We just came from the demo night game to a team named Samurais, but they've definitely already claimed some significant dominion. SNH stares down the sniper rifle of Slamnish.
So this is the reason for the pocket pick here. It's SNH on Sniper. It is just really coming down to Sniper. They love the Sniper. They love me some Sniper over on Kek Minion Samurai. Slamnish now is the resident Sniper for this team. So we'll see if he actually holds a snuff, a little candle to SNH.
You know what's crazy as well? If you just leave the vowels out, it's basically Slamnish being headshot by SNH. And if you add more letters, SNH has the same sort
Eon
of...
just went down. Jay's got the
drop.
The drop onto Eon.
In the backlines, you gain a sniper pick, but you lose your medic.
Jay is an absolute wonder beast on this soldier class. He's lighter than air, it looks like, when I watch his gameplay. But they won't quite find the same equivalent over against Skis over on Bloke. So they're going to have to play without heals just that little bit longer on Kek Minion Samurai.
Skis, the moves on that medic were subliminal anyway. Now they're capping it. They only delayed it for a little bit of time to have their full players up alive now. 6 versus 6 players in the feature in the nick of time. It's a 20% over advantage here for Skis, who goes down to 20 HP, but Jay is clopping SNH down.
Yeah, there's no need to prioritize on Eon at this point. Obviously, hasn't got the Uber charge just yet. They need to take out the sniper, which they do immediately with Jay. And now this allows Slamnish to play his game a bit more.
Skis is still luring them a bit forward here, 10% Uber advantage, but all of the players are fully buffed up. Slamnish is on the precipice himself, and now there's another complimentary shot fired at Jay. He does keep alive, however.
This won't dissuade Mac and company though. They're still going to try and contest, but all this contesting is taking a mighty long time here, and they're losing out on just an extra sort of pair of hands with that sniper really finding nothing.
It is the White Lotus though glowing rather in blue as you would, as Jay is counter-clapping Bloke down to the ground, but now it's a nuke here onto Eon. It takes Eons to finish him up. He does crater to the ground, however.
Yeah, you see a bit more advantage going towards Kek Minion Samurai because they are rocking that
Slamnish.
Oh, I say that. Slamnish actually gets the pick. But notice they have got an extra scout over on Kek Minion Samurai. Souls does like to switch off onto Scout, and you notice they don't really do the same here for White Lotus. They're playing with 2 soldiers, so that does come with its disadvantages.
Slammed down 2 to 3 players, so that definitely does favor you. And also another shot here, though it's this time around from SNH onto Chris, and we saw the Samurais had a lead in terms of time early on, but the White Lotus is slowly creeping up on it, encroaching on an advantageous position. Mac has some safeguarding SOA rays set up.
Okay, nice pick on the flank from Bloke, so that's going to be another sort of headache for them to worry about here over on White Lotus. They will gain the point back now, finally, from Kek Minion Samurai, and the pressure's on White Lotus to see they can come back and get the point, but it's going to be harder with just 1 scout.
They are so squandering a 40% over advantage. Yes, you do have to stare down SNH here. He was on his own top area on China, not that much of a budget sideline eventually, but now the Ubers are even, so we will already enter an engagement. Who pops first? This is a neuralgic question you have to ask yourself. Chris is making them not even multi, since you see Eon and Sylphs, they went so far forward. Bloke not finding.
Oh, 1 HP warrior. He will go down to the Slamnish sniper, but he's already done his job by taking out. Oh, SNH has been taken out on sniper. This allows us Slamnish to really reap the rewards of just playing sniper on his own now. He can go for anybody without the worry.
He is on a 5k soon enough, and he even found a 6th one for him. That's what you have 6 gamers for on your enemy team, to frag them all down. A 6k and maybe even a 7th one at that. No, Mac ultimately survives, but only 20 HP on that man, waiting for another bolt, and only 1 minute here that are subtracted from White Lotus until they have a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying. Obviously, you have to keep aware of your sight lines here, Ron Eon. But if there's any team that's going to be aware of these sight lines, it's surely the team that runs sniper 24/7.
I mean, evidently, but it is a very rare sight that you basically have a double sniper constantly, and you can already pressure cook this a little bit here with some damage from Mac forward. It's a half-time cap soon enough, but it forces them to pop so early. So many players, so very weak.
Yeah, but they haven't used the Uber charge.
Oh, they're headshot!
They haven't used the Uber charge at all over on skis, but they're losing a lot of players here on White Lotus. Even when this Uber charge comes out, I'm not sure they're going to find much with it. Yeah, they popped off, but what is one lowly scout against the world?
But honestly, only 10 seconds to go, and you definitely have to send it if you're the Samurai here, as it is on Mac. He's wearing the Samurai clothing. Does he also wield the Samurai spirit? Bloke is in behind, can clap down skis. Eon is headshot, and 8k for Slamnish.
Yep, medic taken out. That's going to be really awkward for Kekmin and Samurai. I mean, there's one thing to cap back the point. It's another to hold on to the point for 51 seconds without his medic.
Slamnish has not died yet. 9k, maybe. Oh, 1v1. SNH is fearing and walking into Logan, but another headshot ringing out. Come at me, bro. Come at me. I still have so many people here to pick apart. Only Eon in the sky. Oh, close enough. Logan dunks him down.
All right, well, that's the first round. That's a nice sign of life of White Lotus here, and that's probably kind of corrected Kekmin and Samurai on their little pocket pick, realizing that this is not a pushover of a team. Product.
Apparently, White Lotus and a Lotus flower at itself is not only damage repellent, but more so damage appealing.
They're going to Slamnish on Sniper immediately.
Immediately, we have seen that he was on a 9k, and that definitely dunked him in. Took so much pressure and effort to pressure him out of set areas.
Slamnish playing from Cliff, so doesn't really want to fight the Sniper directly right now. Now he's going to push the issue a bit more. Who's got the fastest finger?
SNH! SNH hits the shot, quite nimble on the trigger finger.
Took the bullet for that kid. He was like, get down, real player of the Kekmin Samurai. I will sacrifice.
The true samurai spirit at work, but the Overlord is sacrificing himself for the minion. Flick tries to have a quick flick flank into the enemy team, but not eventually able to leave out. High five down low. That means Bloke is heading straight to the respawn queue. Flick though, and that is once more a recap, or the first initial mid cap for Samurai.
Very important cap. I mean, it's one thing to have the pressure of the sniper kind of floating around. It's another to feel the pressure of the sniper and have the time ticking away. So getting that first capture is a very important. Still going down with the exchange Ubers here. This is always annoying for a sniper when these Ubers get exchanged out, because you can't really find the kills when everybody's just flicking about and going to foreign parts of the map.
White Lotus though have so much deathmatch capabilities. SNH probably also dies here. Yes, indeed, Chris comes close, but that was wonderful, intermittently changing out your players. One soldier goes on the China area, the scout rushes
is back on soldier. That's weird. You see that every day.
And there's Soldier leaping in though, there's a combo hiding close. Logan, can he safeguard his own medic? He cannot even save himself. Logan clapped down, skis as well. The forward hold crumbles.
That is a good word, crumbles. I think that was a forward hold, like kind of naively made by White Lotus, expecting they could hold that close there. Slamnish, he's all the way at the back. He's like, where is my team? I'm playing back here, and you guys are playing all the way up front.
The guy has 11 kills, by the way, and 3 deaths, 3 assists as well, so definitely. But now we see the forward hold out of the minions.
Yep, let's see how SNH is playing the forward hold. He's holding on the right-hand side, very atypical for a sniper, so can't really get the first initial damage on these soldiers though that are jumping. He gets the pick, however, on the second shot, but nobody's really protecting him. Nobody really gave the memo to SNH that they were backing off there.
They gained 3 frags, however, and only lose SNH. He's on a 10th spawner, or 10th spawn wave here. They still have a 30% aware advantage. He's aware! He's not aware! And it is a quick flick flank.
Eon's got Uber charge. He probably could have saved some team members there, but he wants to play a greedier instead. He's all the way back.
With Bloke. It does play back. Ultimately, though, you do have a large, a hefty, a massive Uber advantage and time advantage, but that is SNH coming through.
That's annoying because, well, actually they do have 2 scouts now. Slemnish has come back on scout. Actually, I say he come back. He's died on scout. And now he's back on sniper again. Get back onto the Rio class. And
Freaking Freddy scenario. Also, Samurai still do feature a full 100% Uber advantage basically, or well, 60% that is, and have already 1 minute ahead. Once they do recap it, everyone up alive. Jay is absolutely clapped into the ground.
They're missing another scout that's really beneficial to just kind of blocking, you know, getting top that point, taking advantage. But I guess if Slemnish is doing this well on Sniper, maybe, you know, they can make it work here. But I mean, eventually he's got to start missing, right?
Hitting every creature. No, absolutely not. Even if you do the reverse caster's curse here, but Sylphs, again, high five, down low, you're the recipient of that play. But it definitely starts out with SNH being better on the conversion rates in the sniper versus sniper duels, but they seem to focus on other players not going for the sniper versus
The
sniper.
reverse has actually happened though. Sills is back on Soldier. I wonder if that means they want to prioritize with dealing with Slemnish during all of this.
Utilizing,
exchange.
yes, Sylphs to kill Slemnish in behind.
Yep, and now it means they just don't cap this midpoint as quickly as they had hoped. They're actually using the Uber to block this off. Oh, we played Bagel, excuse me. But yeah, they will exchange Ubers. They go aggressive during all this chaos where the sniper's not being protected.
Oh,
and look at all the
no.
kills they're farming here. I guess it was just a better post-Uber situation from this flank team whilst these Ubers would grind against each other on mid.
Another crumble of felony quantities. This time, though, we see it is on the Samurais being surrounded, all of them, and then also Eon surreptitiously slaughtered. Skis doesn't even feature that much of a hefty Uber advantage right now. No, it's minus 10%, so you have to drive fight this.
I wonder if we see in the cons a little bit of taking out the sniper first, because yeah, you do take out Slemnish, but when he comes back on scout,
a meat
he's
shot.
immediately contributing to the fight.
Flick is in!
A lovely setup,
Mech
like
is in!
linking up
SNH
kills
is in!
from the rest of Kek Minoi's Samurai team. Very nice team fighting.
Bro, Flick is in, Bloke is in, Mech is in, like crazy. Everyone is basically claiming the counterpart. That was wonderfully utilized. The dynamics of this play, and the dynamics once more means forward hold.
I love a forward hold. Let's see what they have packed for the White Lotus. No pyro, so they're not really doing this regular. They're just going to force and man their way in. Jay gets in relatively unscathed, but I
Slaughter.
can't say the same for White Lotus.
Absolute slaughterhouse. Eon also surfs out there where some prior damage numbers flung his way, so you had some time here to cook for White
Okay.
Lotus, but the
Still
problem
fish.
is only 20 seconds and not even that close to breaking down the forward hold, and Eon still has a 40% advantage.
Yeah, they've reset quite nicely actually over on Kek Mignon and Samurai. Everyone's come back to say they've got the more aggressive, what's it called? The respawn rates. It's very slow for them.
Ooh,
They managed to
Mech,
reset
wonderful
so
sticky.
nicely. They finally pop off Uber, but that's because we're in the final seconds of the game.
there isn't
They
a-
need to get balls on the point here if they want to keep going for the previous team known as Money Balls.
They are definitely doing that though, having the money and put the money where your mouth is or where your cap time is transpiring to be soon enough. Bloke takes the 1v1 here against a soldier that is ultimately happy enough and lucky to tell the tale. You do have Bloke in behind your lines.
Alright, so we have claimed the point back, but it's a different order now. Now it's not about keeping the point, it's just making sure that Kek Minoy Samurai never cap the point. So that's going to be hard, but they've got 30 seconds left. It's certainly doable. Bloke is being annoying behind, and that's going to draw a lot of attention away from this capture
coming in
happening right now.
huge!
SNH coming in huge, and the collapse, it's so much simpler to play this kind of TF2. You know what they want that point, and they're not going to give it to them.
And they want it now. And only at 24 seconds differential is differentiating those two teams, but we have a game on our hand. White Lotus coming out huge with Slemnish in the very first round, but not only SNH bouncing back, Sylphs bouncing back on Soldier, and Flick on the Spy class. Going to mid question mark? No, okay, so it's just
I am liking the adjustment from Sills, switching to that soldier, realizing that the problem here is Slemnish on this sniper, and then facilitating your sniper by
Double
taking
soldier
out the
bomb.
opposing.
Jay, double soldier bump. Jay walking behind them alongside with high five. Can they clap down some more players in together? It is so Sylphs initiating here. Slemnish down skis as well.
Yeah, bonus kill. I think they were completely going for Slemnish there, but I mean, I'll take
Eon,
3
Eon
skis
did
kill.
die, however, and there are huge rockets, there are huge pipes by Logan, damn.
Where's the rest of the team? Flick, excuse me, can I get some help, please, Flick? Do you mind contributing, Flick?
He's still flickering about, he's still thinking about it. 1v1, come at me bro, Chris is still though lethal, and Flick ultimately culled by Logan with the stickies and the pipes flung forth to K.
That was kind of greedy for them to cap that point. Obviously, the respawners are going to come back that little bit quicker for White Lotus, and well, actually, I say that nobody's capped off the point yet, so maybe it's going to be even. But they still get that disadvantage from not capping it. So yeah, I don't know why they were hoping to kind of eke out the capture with just 2 players really, and one of them being a sniper. But they're going to get punished for it now, and now they have to claw their way back in the game.
Was that overkill? Like, Joke was on 10 HP, but they're trying to pressure cook Ian here as he is already shot down to half HP. Another curveball here thrown by the Americans.
Oh no, we're beefing.
We are beefing a little bit on the flank. No one dies.
Yeah, would you believe that High Five survived all of that? 2 soldiers on the man dog pilot and still don't get the kill.
That is crazy though, it takes some attention span away.
Oh.
Slamnish takes the dome of Flick away.
That hurts a bit more. He's the only scout for Kekminyo and Samurai. It goes both ways, you know. They will feel the sting of just having one less scout, leading their scout into these sort of Uber fights. But they do force out the Uber with their 2 soldiers, so hopefully now they can come back into it. Now that Flick is back with the world of the living. They're avoiding the sniper sight lines. This Uber should be very potent.
They're using Uber very early to compensate for the fact that they also didn't have a call here on the sniper, but Flick can also claim another one here, vaporizing the enemy team. Yes, Jay is emulsified and maybe even annihilation in main, but apparently Ian falls.
Flick is putting like decent damage to say his position, but he's only one little scout class in a big, hard, difficult world where he needs a bit more damage coming out from his teammates for him to follow up on. You notice he did like 180 to one soldier, then he did like 120 to another.
This guy is not missing shots. You said that Slamnish ever miss shots. Also, Bloke was basically the proxy kill there, but Chris has Sylphs finished off. SNH responds in kind on Jay, and it's a massive, absolute horrendous lead here for White Lotus.
Yeah, but they still haven't taken out the sniper, so that's going to be a worry in the back of minds for Mac and company when they're holding this point. Reverse will hit them, and Flick goes down. Flick needs to put a bit more, you know, kind of onus on his life. He's the only scout that's got a lot of responsibilities on his hands on this team.
Bloke, a 2K in behind the Alliance, also took down skis that enables the counter jump now from Jay, but alone he is not able to inflict onto Ian what skis did suffer prior. Only 2 HP, a sliver of HP, a sylphs of HP.
Believe that during all this they actually didn't cap over on White Lotus. I thought like they actually had the point, but no, they didn't really give it up over on Kekminyo and Samurai. They're just going to reset here, hoping that Slemnish manages to find the kill. SNH is on the Slemnish duty, so let's see if he can find the counter kill.
They light robbery basically, and still holding on to this point. It's very important since it ticks down, and well, there's still 1 minute ahead here in the time lead in the form of White Lotus, only capping it now. Christo is claiming that Slemnish comes back.
Yeah, this is going to be a lot harder now as they have to deal with Slemnish. Oh, that's so annoying. He's got the SMG, so even if you bomb him, it feels like a net negative.
Oh, Ian is so much trapped in. Slemnish is roaring back, not only in terms of getting the frags, but also getting the damage denial, the area denial. He's still alive!
The body
Flick!
block onto the
Flick!
sniper.
Whoa, Flick! But it's all on him. Jay, how ultimately though finishes off Ian. Ian has such a hard...
sidestepping this, the scout.
Flick!
Rotating round. We're trying to get the kill onto the scout first, doesn't quite find it. It's a shame he didn't link up with any of his teammates there.
It was not to be, and all of that, White Lotus still do have the security on that point. It was a co-dominion claimed. Ian is constantly going down.
Full GG for a round. I mean, they have an Uber charge and 30 seconds left. This is very hard. Oh my god, Slemnish even gets the kill against SNH.
What you usually say then, Turbo, is a GR.
A GR.
Anyway, a bloke ultimately is pitted and falls down to his Infernal Doom.
They don't even know where these players are. Look at how like blindsided Souls was by that J pick.
They're all dispersing once more. Ian is claimed by Chris, a double frag for himself, and another pipe flung upon Mac. It ends here. It culminates in this concrete round for White Lotus. The winning conditions shifting mildly, but especially Minion Samurais being absolutely flustered. Where are those White Lotus players? They're here, they're there, they're everywhere.
Yeah, what makes a top team isn't really like how good they are from the get-go. It's usually their adaptation. And it looks like White Lotus are getting stronger as the game goes by. And Kekminyo and Samurai are not really finding the secret sauce to figuring out an edge over White Lotus. White Lotus, they're actually getting stronger in like patching up these weak points of the gameplay.
They're fighting off the jet lag, you would say, and gaining some more jet sets here at SJ and the other soldier. Jet setting forward here, finding not the shot. Chris, however, responds in kind. Eon not out of harm's way yet, no.
This is scrappy.
It is scrappy, but it does deliver for the Samurai.
Skis?
No.
No, he's 24 HP. They should smell blood in the water. He's pre-firing all these corners.
No!
He's trying to run away. Will manage to get out with the last little moments of his life, and he will live now.
Flick does not live. Heartbeat increased scenario that was definitely, since if Skis isn't kept alive there, that renders you with 60%, even more so Uber disadvantage. Fortunately, Slamnish was fully buffed, so he survived the initial headshot, but not the follow-up. Rocket! And now some more rocket ricochets here by High Five. Bloke and Sylphs are calming his counterpart down. Jay, though, responds in kind. White Lotus still haven't kept.
Yeah, they've got two soldiers, so they can't really contest the fight, even though they lose their sniper. It hasn't really got the same footing and presence. They haven't really got the same health as well. So White Lotus are going to claim this up, snap it back, and Slamnish back to the world of the living, and it's now back to a good old sniper v sniper.
I think the Samurais want to establish a forward foothold here. You still do have 10% Uber disadvantage, but SNH is already working on field progress, trending toward the main side spot, and China now trying to scope out the angles. Does he have a favorable angle after all? No, it's so weak. Sylphs as well. The flank, you can see the damage numbers flaring up. It's a Uber engagement. Skis quite weak on HP.
Okay, so all this just wasting some time for now. Not really. It's okay if things cool down a little bit for White Lotus. I say that they're trying to edge forward. The crunch comes out from Jay especially, and I feel like White Lotus, this is where the most important and most potent is whether or not they can link up their fire at the same time. But usually these players sometimes look a bit fragmented in their choices, but this time it was looking pretty good on the synced up fire.
Now I know why this position is called pocket. They were all poached in that area. Absolute crunch there by focus fire. Target selection though is still important here. Jay on the 5K finishing off Sylphs, but he responds in kind with a revenge on Logan. Now though, the artillery shots are unleashed. They come down. The soldiers, fearsome, unrelenting, and cataclysmic.
If I'm honest, White Lotus are just giving Minoin Samurai a taste of their own medicine. It is basically their playbook, but played better, and that's gotta hurt.
It's gonna hurt, and the soldiers, I have only said
oh
it.
no!
Is not hitting the shot. Eon was sneakily, speedily surfing out of it.
No respect. Surely they must have known that he was going to look at that sight line, but doesn't quite get the shot this time round. And they will get the kill onto High Five, but they need more to really work with. They pop off the Uber charge, they respond over on Minoin Samurai, and they're just wasting more time here. Kind of a play out of the Bagel book, just popping Ubers and just getting that bit more seconds on the clock. But when they do a little head count, they realize they just haven't got enough to sustain this mid-capture. Although they're contesting it, because Flick is the only one to really realistically cap this point. He finally does it now, but it took so long.
But it is still fine. I mean, all things considered, the way they had to play that for so long was Logan simply not being down and plugging, what, 600, 700, 800 damage on people that are just bunched up. But let's bunch up behind the rock is probably not what they're saying. Slamnish on the sniper still, and the medics are roaring equal here with this Uber charge, but it's a fully shot body shot and another one on Sylphs.
Yeah, they don't need the classic. He can just run off with the classical body shot over on Slamnish to deal with these jumping soldiers. And with the soldiers taken out of the array, Mac is on his own for most of the time, because Flick has got so many jobs to do.
Logan is definitely divvying Mac for so far. Also, this cap roars through as they're soaring through the air.
I've just noticed they've given up on the sniper. They've actually lost faith over on Minoin Samurai.
And even forced on their own cliff area. Definitely what you can get. High Five hit the air shot. Does not do so. Chris finishes off Sylphs, however, so nothing is lost and all might be gained here for White Lotus. Charging forward. Eon doesn't even live. Logan once more dunks on that man.
You've noticed the choice of targets are very different compared to Minoin Samurai and whatever White Lotus want to go for. White Lotus are keeping it simple in this cough. They go Uber in, get the medic, and then we'll think about everything else. Whilst Minoin Samurai, I think they're a bit
Mac
more
is circumventing all those players.
classes.
Mac comes close here and eventually has some protective shots fired toward the point, but they have to lengthen this fight. They have to elaborate on how do we further on progress here. No one should die eventually. Some rocket artillery shots are fired forward as they try to reassume this position. Ian did once more spawn, but a massive Uber advantage by Skis.
Slemnish is like, thank goodness we can put these sniper rifles away, as he's gone back on scout, and they're just taking a regular classical approach at Condawg. And look, their team fighting is just so much better. They seem to be helping each other at all times. They really sync up. It's always looks like there's 3 guns at one target at a time.
It's only Bloke in behind. He basically finished off a J, shut them down off the air, but the White Lotus are here to play European soil. 3-1 already, but we do play 2-4.
Yeah, think of it as an encore here for the White Lotus team. They just need to do one more song. One swan song left for the poor Kek Minion Samurai and their pocket pick.
Bravo, encore, but we still have to keep our minds here in the game as the audience can strap in once the curtain falls, or rises rather. That might curtail the enemy team. Slemnish once more on sniper.
Alright, so we're going to give it one more shot here, but this time it's White Lotus that have been engaged on this sniper strat. Maybe predicting that SNH was going to go this this sniper class,
Huge.
but
That's a
Sills,
double wall shot basically. That was huge.
yeah, and see, it's a bit easier for Sills to play this flank when he's got his buddy SNH behind him.
Definitely helps them out once more, though they're playing with Cookie Cutter, the cardboard scenario. Double scout, double soldier, and a demo, and a medic. Slemnish doesn't find a shot this time around.
But eventually, given enough rolls of the dice, he's got to find something, and he's been quite consistent, really, the grand scheme of the map.
I mean, his own deathmatch capabilities do not belie him, neither does his KD flick, however, is absolutely torn.
That's okay, we go to scout number 2, SNH can just take over the role here.
They have to use so early. Eon went down to 10 HP, could have even been disintegrated before this glimpse of immortality was popped, and so many players so weak on HP.
Okay, well, Eon is in an awful post-Uber situation. He hasn't really got enough health to kind of recommit to the fight like this. Also, it doesn't help having Souls go down. But it's alright, they lose the point, so he's going to be back with his team, and hopefully we can... Oh, Slemnish is actually back on Sniper.
34 frags, by the way, 15 deaths, 5 assists, and this is definitely a game that is still delivering here. Slemnish tries to peek down.
Oh, he smells him, he sees him, kind of, but just the beam.
Bloke is in though, and he gets what he needs. That was absolute crazy bomb. They were all just so focused on the sniper, but it's the Bloke that you have to put your trust on.
It's not over until it's over, and Slemnish brought down low. Brought down by Mac.
It's
and,
raining Mac.
Yep.
Hallelujah. What a pipe there, but eventually he even does keep alive.
Yep, and they are doing a good job of just kind of keeping healthy, not throwing any bodies here. It's kind of a good shorthand. If you have the point, don't throw any lives away. It's a very simple TF2. This is what White Lotus were paying off earlier, was just going for the Ubers onto the medic.
Eon is headshot, however, Slemnish spawns and nicks Eon straight back into that respawn queue. There are a lot of rockets fired. You cannot see ondkaja, but I can definitely deliver to you if like constant fragging is going down. It's very difficult.
These are the annoying parts of snipers, when your team is going in and you can't really contribute, you can't really help them out because they're on the other opposing enemy side of the map. And I guess this is showing the inexperience of White Lotus playing with a sniper. It's more like a bonus rather than a central gameplay.
All things said and done, Slemnish doesn't even go for the hero shot, just backs out safely, gets a shot anyway onto Flick, and is also culled in the front lines. Samurais still do feature a 1 minute lead, and White Lotus haven't kept yet.
Yeah, it's because they got this sniper. He's not really a capping machine, but you got to give him credit. He's in the front lines with his team, and he's playing this as close as he can do on the sniper class, but it's still just not having quite the impact they were hoping for. They will get the capture from the point, but they need to get more with this sniper, and it starts off with an SNH pick.
But they lengthened also the respawn timer on Logan here, so that was definitely to their detriment. I definitely do think so. I mean, Skis still has a 25% situation, but not able to really budge off nothing aggressive here to reassess in this situation. You still have to deal with the Slam.
Yeah, they're pushing out now. They don't quite have the Ubercharge on Neon, but they suspect that they'll have it soon. It'll be like ready by time the Ubercharge could come out from White Lotus. They're already seeing if they can teeter on the cap. They've got to deal with Chris, however. He's the only scout
Mac is
player.
falling down.
Oh no, they have lost Mac as well. That's a really difficult Uber to play now. Look at this scout. He has to do so much
doing
work.
the dodges.
And yeah, it's on his own in a really desperate world. I wouldn't want to play as Flick there in that situation.
Ian is surfing out! He has the most clinical surfs that keeps his team in the game. Kutta reloaded. Vendée Globe, I had said it before, the tide is high. He's holding on.
Yeah, it may be clinical, but I think they're still the ones ending up with a rash here. This is a really, really tough situation to be in. They're actually going to go for the EU flavored of breaking down a forward hold. That's going with the Pyro, so let's see how NA reacts to this.
One wonderful reflect already hit, but Slamish on an 8k racking up to his kill tally. Skis is the one falling. It is Mac coming in once more. Bloke claims another one.
Yeah, actually, ironically enough, I think 2 soldiers would have been a bit nicer for minoin Samurai, because you actually get a jump on that sniper as well, but it's always an afterthought for these forward holes. You always think Pyro to just deal with the soldiers first and then we'll go after, but the sniper was actually really useful for White Lotus.
Advantage at hand here, by the way, is also Ian has an 80% Uber advantage, and now Slamish is spotted. Sylphs is only scaring him a little bit, doesn't ultimately get the conversion on that sniper, and ultimately falls down to Logan. Sticky's a 4k for that man, and that opens up all the space that they do need. But Skis still features Uber disadvantage, but so far back there still can anyone eviscerate them. Slamish down, high 5 as well.
Yeah, they get a couple of kills, but they're going to get these players back relatively soon. And if the Skis has his Uber, they have a good chance of claiming this point and maybe even winning the round with just 22 seconds left. He's not even been forced out of the forward.
It's definitely clutch time now, and now is the question, can you force the enemy medic, can you drop the enemy medic, can you kite the Uber, can you hold on to the point? Flick is so far forward, might be the first victim of this fight, however it's a bomb, but Ski surfs it out, pops it ultimately. It takes 2 soldiers to get this conversion, but only, well, Ian not living from that. What is your favorite Greek letter? Definitely not J after that play.
My God, we're really laying them the Greek in this cast as well. But okay, so we're in overtime now for minoin. That's something at least. Now they just need to claim it back. So if they can just break this forward hold and get a couple of picks, slimy or otherwise, they can probably have a good case of getting 1 capture.
They only have 20 seconds, so Slamish is already
There's
closed down.
one pick,
They need to be
but it's a
very
trade.
fast. They can play around the fact that they have faster spawn timers every trade you take, but you also need to gain ancillary cap time. There's already a soldier leaping behind them. Can they have focus fire? Can they have target
they got the
selection?
capture.
It is still lethal in the hands
But they
here
need to
with
find a
Flick.
pick.
They need to focus on the same
There's
players.
one.
But back
They're
falling
losing
down.
too much, they've lost Eon.
Eon as well. The curtain
They
might
can
fall.
still do this.
Flick as well. It's an absolute new.
They need to get on
by
the point, though.
What is happening? The
Oh
scouts-
no, they're dividing. It's
dividing.
Flick. Oh, it's
Evaded.
2 scouts. It's too dirty, but they can still keep going. It's
Let's
time for
see,
part
keep
2
it going. Roll
of
it
the
back.
scout.
Roll
It's
it
at
back.
21 HP. The tank team in
Let's-
this poor little scout. Crossbow coming out
Let's
from
go.
Eon. We got to the point. We've managed to win this in the final seconds of the game.
Let's go, Samurais! Absolutely coming back. What a crazy series of plays. Absolutely action-packed and jarring. You see a double scout coming in, a double scout countering, then soldiers coming in, countered by soldiers, but eventually you do have the faster spawn times, and you also did discombobulate Skis. However, Slamdish on Sniper, SNH not.
Never give in, never surrender, unless it means surrendering the sniper class. Then yeah, surrender that. Don't play sniper, it seems. But there maybe a bit of a redemption arc here for minoin Samurai. They won without the sniper.
Max so weak on HP, but ultimately he was protected because Bloke jumped forward,
Oh
but
my.
they lose 3.
Yeah, they've got flank problems here over on minoin Samurai, specifically their flank. They actually can't survive and sustain on these sorts of flank plays and
Chris
going
feeding.
down pretty early.
Chris feeding as Sylphs surfed it out was not
Forward hold,
ultimately air shot, but was
Bit
able
greedy.
to claim Chris. So no Chris, no high 5. Forward hold thwarted.
Okay, so they get out and they've been punished over on White Lotus here. And they're still rocking the Slemnish. He can't quite get his crosshairs on top of Mac, but they've got already got that ×4 capture. They pop off Uber because they just want to delay that time just that little bit longer. I'm not sure I like this from White Lotus though, because now they've got the barrel of a soldier and a scout right on top of their medic, and they're even going to get these bonus kills as well. Flick is feeling himself here on this product.
They are so coordinated. Bloke flies in with surgical precision. He picks them apart. Also, Jay not able to apprehend Eon in the situation. They do not lose anyone and claim that captain.
Yeah, that was a bagel pop, basically. That was like, oh, guys, if we use the Uber charge here, we can get a bit more seconds. But I don't think it's that kind of map, if I'm honest. So they now have to do the forward hold. The Pyro's not working out. Nice little air shot from Bloke, and the soldier. Oh, what the blink and you miss it. How the hell did they get a triple kill in 1 second?
Crazy by Jay, still alive. What is he doing? What did this man have for lunch? He came across the pond for a reason. Absolutely domed on those enemy players, but the soldiers, the mobile mortars, it is Bloke coming in, but Jay responding in kind.
Look, they must have heard you, because now they didn't capture, they didn't lock out Logan. He actually gets a nice little respawn, so his team are going to come back, and they should be able to hold this now quite comfortably, because there's no Uber charges or any sort of snipers in the mix.
Let's trap in who is in another desperate need here of mortality. It seems to be Sylves, Slemnish on the sniper before, but now on Scout, quite lethal, racking up to a 2k.
If I was Bloke, I'd be a bit mad there, because nobody really wants to help him out in that sort of play. They clearly must agree that they want the soldiers to go aggressive there, but nobody's really playing off his play.
Oh, Eon even falls! They were playing so far forward! He didn't respect them at all, and Jay, once more, Jay walking all the way through their spot and picks him up from behind.
Alright, forward holds haven't been fantastic here for White Lotus. The only times I've really seen them work is when they had a sniper, but they don't have it now. Let's see, they're not rocking a pyro over on minoin Samurai, so now they're going for just
what a crunch!
Vanilla.
How does this guy not take any damage at all in the face of 5 players just
I think they were missing a soldier on the left-hand side from White Lotus. I don't know what he was doing, having a picnic.
Maybe, but definitely not the time for it. You see it, White Lotus only 1 minute here, and 2 minutes and 17 seconds still needed for Samurais to tick it down. But we saw before that
they've got 100% Uber charge. If they see Eon, they need to just sick it.
Skis pops it in a nick of time. You see Matrix does eventually see the rocket coming close. Sylves also has a pickaxe.
They shouldn't be losing Logan there, because now they've got a double chariot scout that can just gobble them up. They haven't quite got the Uber charge yet, however, so can't overextend, but they need to like start picking out targets.
It's a hefty time deficiency, however, but target selection did start with some soldiers, especially Bloke, but Jay on his 6k.
They popped the Uber, so this is going to be do a lot of work with this Uber charge, but those 2 pipes from Mac tells me that it's going to be a dud.
Absolutely turned it to the ground. Jay has not died yet on his 7k. Samurais,
there's 15 seconds left.
Clean him up. A world of pain does evade your wizard, but you need to evade the aggressive players here. Only 10 seconds. It is ticking down time, and now Flick is already ripping Slemnish apart here. They need to claim cap time. You need to claim those players. Ski's quite healthy still, quite close to Uber, but the mobile mortars are flying for. Can Ski's lift? He does need to lift.
Yeah, he's keeping himself alive. He's got the Uber charge now, so he just needs to not drop to any sort of fire. Will pop off the Uber. They get the capture, but they made the game very, very simple for White Lotus now, because now they just need to capture it back.
Is it simple? No, it's Sylves. It is Sylves. It is form that is temporary.
Oh wait, they've lost Sills now, but this is going to be hard. This Uber charge has to do a lot of work if from Eon when he comes back into the fight. They can't let them capture. They have to get on the point right now. ×5. They get onto the point in the last ditch second of this capture. They will clean up the demo man, but I think that was just because they was getting desperate on the White Lotus. They could see the round finishing.
So very clutch, and you see how close this point is to be kept. So minions and the Samurais, they cannot lose Mac here, and they cannot cede any ground.
That cap time is not going anywhere. It's still breathing down their neck over against minoin Samurai. They are like solidified a little bit, but they've got no demo man, no sticky traps, no
and Logan
easy
is
damage.
peltering them with sticky. So much damage, so much deathmatch, and
they're
it's the pipes,
it's
the rockets, it's everything compiling. White Lotus, damage repellent, European repellent as well. They do claim that on European soil.
They're going to be kicking themselves. I know they got that capture and it probably felt like a win, but it made the game so much simpler for White Lotus. Sorry, I'm not in frame here, but yes, you could see the shift and change in the attitude of White Lotus. They maybe got a little bit desperate there because they were thinking like, I want to win like 10 seconds earlier rather than 10 seconds later, but it worked out in the end. Maybe it only looks desperate when you lose.
That is always the fallacy that you sometimes do fall into, sometimes called or dubbed as the Barnum effect, but most importantly dominated as once you are a scorer in football and you score that goal, you're always correct. But the problem was also like Jay was on
well, actually, it's America, so if it's football, it's more like touchdown.
And I mean, I said it before, basically Logan, especially dunking on them, and Jay on 7 or 8 case, but that was a wonderful conclusion, honestly, for like action-packed. We still do have a couch to feature for ourselves. Yes, and
Sweet.
we do have gamers on that couch.
How are you guys doing? That was a long game. Condawg, I was watching that game, I'm not gonna lie, for a very long time, and I was sat here thinking about how the intro bit was gonna be how sad I was that you were correct. But you were wrong about the map predictions. Everything's fine.
I mean, you just add 1 to both of the sides. I said 3-1, it was 4-2. I mean, it's effectively the same thing. I think we all kind of knew that Mac was going to get a one-trick round with the SNH sniper. But they were just started losing afterwards. But then they went back to the bit of the cookie cutter, and they got another round. But I think the result was just pretty expected, to be honest.
You guys, you dmoule, you're having a lot of thoughts watching that game. What do you kind of think? Let's start it with the positives. What do you think that White Lotus did well to sort of come out on top of that game?
They never stop their aggression, even though they are playing with a sniper. I think that's the correct way to play with a sniper. A lot of people tends to, I mean, they play with 2 soldiers as well, but a lot of people tends to just sit back and cover your sniper. Nah, you have to keep the ground. Don't let the other team take more grounds than they should. And the sniper is just gonna rain deaths onto them. The Mac team, I feel like they should have switched off sniper at some point. SNH didn't have the same impact as Slam. They needed to switch. It took them a long time, in my opinion.
How do you kind of feel, Surny, now that we've had so many games in one day? We kind of saw the pocket pick of the Samurai come out. White Lotus managed to beat it now for the Samurai. You're going into... I'm pretty sure they're still up a bracket, but they're not perhaps maybe as high as they'd want to be. Yeah, C2.
Yeah.
I don't know if we have final groups, actually. We're not going to have brackets for a little bit because those need to be seeded by the admins. But maybe we have some like final group stages at some point. Wow, that's
go.
Witness. Still on top, by the way, would you believe?
Who would have thought?
Who would have
Unbelievable.
thought? And now. And, yeah, now. This might not be final, because not everyone's played, obviously. It's actually just the last round. Yeah. But I also do believe that Mandem won their last game. Because they played it against the Voxy team, and... yeah, no. White Lotus, Mandem are tied for first in the group? Or what? Oh, there's a round difference.
Yeah. I mean, you got to break the tie somehow, right?
I don't know why we're behind. I think that Mandem should be on top because of the round difference. Obviously, White Lotus have dropped, 3? They dropped 2 in that, and Mandem only lost 1.
Yeah, I think they dropped 3 rounds in total, and Mandem lost 2 rounds. So Mandem should be at the top.
Yeah, okay. I mean, this is the Condawg and dmoule show now. We got the microphones.
Yes, hello.
We're not handing these microphones back.
No,
That's right.
They are
We're in
ours.
charge. dmoule, any more thoughts on that game? I mean, the Slemish Sniper. Did we have any logs, J-Max? Could you maybe show us some
Yeah,
Slemish
please.
stats? I'd be very keen to see how many he...
Oh
51.
my god.
Wowza. Wow.
Yeah.
Can anyone see who that is at the bottom? Is that Mac? Yeah, 17 frags. My god, little bro's struggling a little bit. But yeah, the Slemish Sniper was fantastic, to be honest.
I mean, look at the damage. Slam and Jay. Both of them are 15k. Nah, they're just phenomenal. This flank is phenomenal. Yeah.
Jay is actually crazy on that roamer. It's absurd. Like the stuff he gets away with, the fragging he does as roamer, like we haven't seen it in a while. We don't see it very often. He gets away with way too much. They're letting him do way too much, but I don't know, man. Look, this was probably the outcome anyway, right? Let's be honest. Even if it's the pocket pick of the Samurais, I don't think anybody was necessarily expecting them to win this. It's more of a, how well did they fight? They got close, I guess. I don't think it's something to be too upset about. At the end of the day, they get another chance tomorrow. It's going to be different as well with the playoffs. They're going to have different chances with the progressive rule set. I don't know. You think that's going to play into the cards? Wandom?
I think progressive is definitely going to have an impact on it. I think there's some teams going to benefit a lot from it. It's going to be a very good test of mental. I think we kind of saw that already in the ECS playoffs. There's some teams that are ready to deal with the progressive overtimes. There's some teams that really weren't. I don't know either you, dmoule, or Condawg. Condawg, do you want to speak a bit on that?
On the banning config, or
Yeah.
is it the banning config? Is that what we call it? It's
I
just
think
the
we're
NA
calling it
rule set?
progressive overtime.
Ooh, I don't like
It's
that
the official.
name. Can we
Just call
we'll
it
call
the
it banning
config.
config.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Wish you were here.
Wish you were here. The Americans are going to be used to it, I suppose. For some of the EU teams, I mean, I'm not sure if they're really going to be able to adapt to it. It's 25 minutes, continuous overtime.
30 minutes.
Is it not 25?
It's 30 minutes and then you...
Are you sure, Wanda?
Yes, absolutely. That's what we played with in ETF12s. Full 30 minutes.
I thought it was 25. J-Max confirm? Ooh,
Low-key
what? Ooh, J-Max said 25. Ooh, Wanda,
Did
we're
it
going to later
not?
that.
Those 30. It felt like 5 years.
I
Maybe
mean,
it's 30 in my mind because I was just on Metalworks last
yeah,
for
but
all of
it's
it.
25.
It's 25.
Yes.
Let's get this dumbass EU caster who doesn't know what he's talking about off the mic. We have so many things to say, but here's the problem, right? As you can see, there's no inners in my head, and there's such a big queue at the bar. What's going on?
We have no bracket yet, so please give your final thoughts, and the bracket will be revealed on TFTV after the stream. Also, please visit donate.poLANd.tf.
Okay, guys, final thoughts. dmoule.
Yes, hello.
Final
Oh,
thoughts.
final thoughts. Was an interesting day. See you tomorrow.
Surny, I need you to give me your final thoughts.
It was a good day of LAN. I am really looking forward to the playoffs now. I think it's going to be... We've had a few close matches, not necessarily on stream, but we had a few decent ones. And I think in playoffs, once teams really have to try hard, that's when things are going to get much more interesting. Because, like, some of them were kind of phoning it in today, I think. But, you know.
Bar's literally in view. Are you gonna partake?
I plead a fifth on that one.
What about you, dmoule? Bar time?
I did not
Low-key?
listen. What did you say? Sorry.
Bar time?
No, I don't drink.
Ah, okay. What about you, Condawg? Any final thoughts?
Final thoughts. Guys, we got some big games tomorrow, okay? You're going to want to be tuning in tomorrow. Big games. We got some big other exciting things coming on the way. Little but least, Condawg's Corner will be returning. And maybe the Condawg Show might be happening.
Ooh.
I know. Get excited. Come back tomorrow. Maybe type donate in the chat just to help out Supra. You know, poor guy's still in the red. We'll get there. We'll get there. But yeah, tomorrow, big stuff. It's going to be very exciting. And we'll see you there.
Yep. Good night, guys.